Okay, so you guys, I am recording you today. Hopefully you're all logged on Pear Deck. Only 10 of you have responded so far. It's concerning. Get it in there. As many types of energy as you can think of. Stop after 5 and just send them. Okay? I know you can probably just sit there and make a list all day long. So we will work till the bell rings today, you guys, just so you know, so don't start packing up on me. With the reduced schedule, just so you know, we won't get out until 55, okay? Our test is not going to be Monday, no. Don't worry about that. I won't even give you homework because it's homecoming. How about that? All right. Okay. So the question was asked, give me as many types of energy. I'm going to lock you out in 5, 4, 3, that doesn't look like Pear Deck, 2, that doesn't look like Pear Deck. Get Pear Deck on that phone now. Now, peardeck.com/join. KIXFY, you should have it saved in your favorites. So it looks like, okay, kinetic, okay, activation, kinetic, electromagnetic, yes. Chemical bonds and covalent, sure. Body movement, mechanical, that'll work. Heat, light, motion, hydro, wind, there's some new ones. Chemical, thermal, biofuel is a type of chemical. There's a bunch. Ooh, I like ATP. ATP means you have shelter, right? So, sorry. Metabolism involves energy. Enzymes reduce the amount of energy needed. Roller coaster. It's a new way to spell roller. All right. I like new ways to spell things because it makes English teachers mad, and it's fun to see them get all bent out of shape about a misspelled word. Isn't it? You ever see them get all mad about a typo? It's like, your? Right. Oh, you are? Because it's a conjugated word, right? It's 2 words put together. All right, you got to put the hyphen. All right, so I had you tell me some energy. Today's all about energy, conservation of mass, all of those things together. So today we're going to look at that. We're going to look at chemical reactions, and then we're going to talk about enzymes, or at least start to talk about them. We probably won't get all the way through enzymes today. So looking at matter. Living things are made of matter, which consists of substances with a form. So any substance that has a form that we can measure, basically, is matter. What do we call the absence of matter? Space, right? Okay, so you got, is there space in this room? Oh, careful, trick question, right? So when your mom says, you know, we need more space in this house or whatever, say, no, Mom, there's already matter there. Okay? You can't put it there, there's matter. Don't move it over there, there's matter there too. All right? So anyway, what do you mean, Mom? My room's not messy. There's matter everywhere anyway, right? It's just, everything's chaotic. But anyway, you have, like on top of your head, just so you know, like a couple elephants worth of matter sitting right on top of you right now. It's kind of weird to think about, but no. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's about the equivalent weight, just the part that's on top of you. Okay? I mean, just that little, whatever the dimension of an average human head is about 2 elephants. That's a lot of matter. Okay? So, it's kind of weird to think about. We're like Supermen here, right? Yeah. Don't believe me? Go down to the bottom of the ocean without, you know, the right gear on. You'll feel all that matter real quick, right? Okay? Just, as long as you do it slowly, you can adjust. So changes are constantly occurring in living things. Just to kind of understand what matter is, matter never stays static. It's always moving. Let that ring. Okay? And because it's always moving, it's always kind of changing shape and form, and because bonds are always being broken and remade, energy's changing as well. So a physical change occurs when only the form or shape of the matter changes. Let it ring. So if it's important, they will call right back. So a chemical, or they'll come down if it's super important, right? So, but we're learning important stuff. Okay. So a chemical change occurs when a substance changes into a different substance. A different substance. I used to just put the do not disturb button on, and then it doesn't even ring. I can do that. So it's within my right as a teacher. I don't have to turn that thing on. So at any rate, it doesn't matter. Okay. Then they can come down and get them. We're bipedal organisms. We walk. Okay. Oh, see, now they call back. I will answer it now. Here, I'll answer it now. See, I always wait to see if they call back, because sometimes it's just, they're going to be, hello. I do. Okay, Kayla Owen, your mother's here to pick you up.
Wow, did I call back?
See, they call back, though, right? Yeah, they call all the time. Yeah. So, at any rate, we're talking about physical versus chemical changes. Chopping up wood and making, let's say, sawdust. Is that physical or chemical? Physical. How about lighting that wood on fire? Chemical. Okay? So when we light the wood on fire, we take the carbon out of it, we bond it with oxygen, and then it becomes CO2. Okay? So we're actually completely changing what that is, chemically. How's it going? Yeah? Can I get you to just move right here permanently? Thank you. Yes. That way, I don't ever have to worry about you two talking again. All right. Here we go. So matter is neither created nor destroyed in any change, and this observation is called the law of conservation of mass. Can you ever destroy matter? No. Can you change matter's form and shape and function? Yes, but you never destroy it, and you never get to make new matter. It's kind of depressing when you think about it. Everything's just already made. You don't get to make anything new. Yeah. Could you destroy it in a vacuum? If you could stop it from moving, no one's done this yet, but if you could stop it from moving, you could destroy it, but we can't do that yet. That means you have reached true 0 degrees or negative 270 degrees Kelvin, but we haven't been able to do it yet. They're trying. What? How would you make it? You don't. You just take what's already there and you change it. Okay? But essentially, you wouldn't be destroying it. You'd be breaking it down into its basic subatomic particles and just moving them from one spot to another, essentially, if that makes sense. You wouldn't really destroy anything. All right. Is it going to get way off topic? Okay, all right. You cannot. She just took matter from food and from other organisms that she ate and turned them into a new organism. Yeah, it is. I'll tell you, I got 2 daughters. They are made of a lot of cow, a lot of chicken, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits. Because my wife ate those during development, broke the proteins down, broke the lipids down, and then made lipids and proteins for the babies, right? Yeah. It's the same reason we're all drinking dinosaur pee. Okay? Water is cyclic. It just goes around the circle. Okay? We are all made of stardust, too. That's even cooler, right? Okay. Yeah. So every change in matter requires a change in energy. We're going to get way off topic here if I get into stardust. We're going to stay on, okay, we'll stay here on Earth. But you get the idea, right? I mean, we're all made of stuff that's been here for millions of years. Billions. 2.2 billion. Yeah, it'll eat itself. It'll break it down and make different stuff. Yeah. What? We do. I eat cells all the time. I had a steak last night, chock full of muscle cells. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Fat cells, too, are in there. Marbled between the muscle cells. I had fat cells in there. A little bit of connective tissue. It's a little tough. Like fibroblast. That's a fiber cell. A little tough, a little chewy. All right, so, you guys, I can't get off topic. Let's stay on topic. Energy may change from one form to another, but the total amount of energy does not change. This observation is what is called the law of conservation of energy. So you can't destroy matter, you can't destroy energy either. We can change the form. And the total amount of usable energy decreases because some energy is given off to the surrounding as heat. On the sun, I'm going to really test your earth science knowledge right now. On the sun, listen carefully. There are two elements. What are they? Shh, ladies, up here. There's hydrogen and helium. Here's what's happening on the sun. If we get closer to the sun in your helium, it gets hotter, right? So nuclear fission or fusion? Fission. They separate. I was tricking you there. All right, so fission, they separate, happens. So helium separates into two hydrogen molecules. And if I start to float away from the core of the sun, I cool, right? And then we start to reform what? Helium. This is called nuclear fission and fusion. Okay? In this process, does it sound like there's a lot of moving going on? Okay? So if I'm moving a lot, imagine I'm a little kid playing in a little pool, and I'm doing this. Am I making waves? Okay, so as I go through nuclear fission and fusion, back and forth, and I'm making waves in the pool being space, right? That's radiation. Okay? So that radiation leaves the sun and it comes down to our planet and it runs into the atmosphere. Okay? You guys learned all the layers of the atmosphere, right? Like lithosphere, stratosphere, all the way down to the biosphere where we're at. Okay? Folks, shh. Some of those rays don't get in. They bounce off. That's why when you're in space you can see different things that look like Earth. Okay, you can see the atmosphere a little bit because those waves are bouncing off. So when I'm on the moon, I can see the actual rays from the sun bouncing off that part. Some go all the way down and hit green stuff, right? Like plants and land. That's why when you're up in space, you can see that light coming back. Okay, all this radiation from the sun. Not all of it leaves the Earth, though, right? Some of it goes down, goes through the atmosphere, hits the ocean. What color is the sky? Blue. Why is the sky blue? So here's what happens. Light comes down from the sun, and it runs into all these parts of the atmosphere. And there's these things called photons, and they actually cause the rays to be diffracted, or refracted, sorry. And when that happens, they actually refract just the blue wavelengths, and that's why we see blue when we look up. That's also why when you look at the water, it looks blue, because it's just reflecting what the sun, or what's coming through the sky, right? And so when you look at water, it looks blue. Trust me, if you pour a glass of water, it's clear, right? Not blue. Okay, so some of those waves bounce off and they go back up and they hit the atmosphere again. Some of them get out and go out in space. In this whole process, have I destroyed any energy? No, it's just bouncing around, right? Some of it bounces back and keeps the planet warm. Is that a good thing? Yeah. Too much of it is a bad thing, right? And that's what we're experiencing right now. Too much of that global warming. Or climate change, whatever you want to call it. Okay? So it's important that we understand that concept. We're going to deal with it throughout the year. And it all deals with the law of conservation of energy and matter at the same time. Mr. Yankee, you and I are about to have a serious conversation out in the hallway. Wakey, wakey. All right. So we've talked about usable energy and how it decreases because some energy is given off to the surrounding as heat. Not lost, not destroyed, released. You cannot destroy energy. So living things use different chemical reactions to get the energy needed for their life processes. We can't sit outside and just take in glucose from the sun, can we? No. Plants, that's what they do all day long, right? They sit there and they make sugar. And then we come by and we hack them up and we eat them. Okay? Yeah, like a sugar beet. Yeah, that's what we do. We dig up that plant went to all that work, sitting around for half a year to make that beet, and then we come by and just cut its head off and pull the beet up. And, right? I know. It's like violent, right? Imagine corn. Now think if you're like a corn plant and you got all these little babies in a row, and then some guy comes by and cuts it off and peels your baby out of their little crib and then mows a row of you down, right? It's like morbid when you think about it, really. Corn on the cob, the violence in it, right? No, but I'd rather kill one cow than whatever 100 or so little corn babies are.
But they're not alive. You killed a cow that
You're telling me a plant is not alive?
died.
Oh. So changing a substance requires a chemical reaction. Now, during this process, bonds between atoms are broken and new ones are formed. So this leads into reactants and products. The reactants are the substances that are changed in a reaction. The products are the ones that are formed, and sometimes the reactants can switch and be the products. And I'm going to show you a few examples that you should probably draw with me. So we've talked about this guy, right? What is that? Everybody say it's a hydronium ion. And if you have a lot of those, if you have extra hydronium ions, you're an acid or a base. Acid, right? So if I add those to a hydroxide ion, everybody say hydroxide ion. Hydroxide ions are, if I have a bunch of those, I'm a base, right? So we all know if we add hydronium to hydroxide, bless you, we get water, right? Okay, so would these be the reactants or the products? Okay. And over here would be the products, okay. So the arrow points at the products. Makes sense. So what if I started off with two waters and I ended up with hydronium ion and a hydroxide ion? What would this be? This would be a product. I'm sorry, whoop, you got me to say it. Sorry. This would be a reactant. And what would these be? Products. So it all depends on where the arrow is pointing. It's not like the bigger one is always the product. Sometimes it's the reactant. It depends on which way the equation is going. Sometimes it goes like this. Sometimes it can go either way. That's called a reversible reaction. Okay? Everybody understand this? This should be kind of a review. Oh, it's probably wildlife. All right. We blame everything on wildlife down here. What is that? It did. It sounded like a goat. Mr. Urich was feeling a little sheepish this morning. Oh, I lost it in there. Shoot. All right. He said he wasn't feeling good. I thought he must have just been kidding, right? 'Cause if you know a baby goat is a kid, okay. All right, here we go. So, reactions. Sometimes they don't happen automatically. Chemical reactions can only occur under the right conditions. To form new bonds, the particles must collide fast enough to overcome the repulsion between their negatively charged electron clouds. And the activation energy of a reaction is that minimum kinetic energy required to start a reaction. So I want you guys to just imagine you had the key to your house in your hand right now. Put it in your hand. Everybody hold it up. Okay? Close your eyes. And I want you to pretend you're putting your key into the keyhole. Okay? Just thinking about it in your head. Did it take some energy to push the key forward into the hole? Yes. Listen carefully. If you held it away from the key, would it ever go in on its own, or the hole, would it ever go in on its own? No. Now flip the key the wrong way and try to put it in the hole. Does it go in? No. So two things, folks, two things have to happen to put the key in the hole. You have to have it in the right position, right? And you have to have enough energy. Two things. Now, I want you to list or tell me an example of when you need enough energy and have something in the right position to have it occur other than the keyhole example I just gave you. Go ahead. See what you guys come up with. You can turn that on. That computer works. This is your new group right here. Oh, you got it on? Good deal. All right. Four of you. Come on. I know it's homecoming Friday. I know. That you don't what? Oh. That happens. I need an example of when you have to have something in the right position and have enough energy to have it occur. Take a guess. I only have 90. I know there's like 14 of you logged in today. Come on now. Let's go. I'm waiting. Five, four. I'm going to lock you out in 3, 2, 1. They all had better be G-rated. I want Disney answers. I'm afraid. Okay. Well, yeah, that's true. Hey. I've never tried to screw it backwards, but I'm assuming it's impossible. So you have to have it in the right position, and it takes energy. Poop. Okay. We'll skip that one. Basketball. Oh, yeah. Okay, you got to have the ball in your hand in the right position and have enough energy. I get it. Phone. Yeah. You ever try to put a phone in the wrong end or a charger in the wrong end of your phone? It doesn't work. No. Well, neither was poop, so I think basketball's better than the poop example. Flipping a light switch. Yeah, you can't do it left and right, I guess. Yeah. Opening your locker. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, no, for sure. Turning on the TV. Someone would have to elaborate more on that one. Throwing a ball. Riding a bike. What? Okay, now we're getting silly. Pressing a button. Opening the car door. Putting on your pants. Yeah, don't put your pants on backwards. That doesn't work. The dress. Okay, homecoming dress. That would work. Okay, good. I like them all. So, how about a very simple one? Striking a match. Does it take energy to strike a match? You ever try to do it backwards? It doesn't work, does it? Okay? I haven't tried, but I'm assuming it won't work if you use the wrong end of the match. All right, so even if enough energy is available, the product still may not be formed. You have to have energy and put things in the right position. So what was that? So if particles are to react, the correct atoms must be brought close together and in the proper orientation. You have to have the key right side up to put it in the hole. And chemical reactions can only occur when the activation energy is available and the correct atoms are aligned. So this example here, it's tough, a little tough to see. You can see it on your screen. Folks, quit talking to your neighbor for a minute and pay attention. This is right here a hydroxide. This is an oxygen and a hydrogen. If I try to get this hydrogen with this hydrogen and they're next to each other, it's like me standing there with my key in front of my hole and waiting for it to go in. Is it going to go in without my help? No. It's in the right position. I got them lined up, but it's not going to go in unless I push it forward. On this one, it's like having my key upside down. I have my hydrogen next to my oxygen. I can slam that key into that hole as hard as I want. It's not going in. Okay? But if I flip them around and put them in the right orientation and then slam them together, drive my key into the hole, it will go in and the reaction will occur. Okay? So with living things, chemical reactions occur between large complex biomolecules. Large complex biomolecules. What are the 4 large complex biomolecules? What are the 4 complex biomolecules? Type it in. We talked about 2 of them yesterday and 2 of them the day before. What are the 4 complex biomolecules? We still have 5 minutes. We're going to work till the bell rings today. You're on the right track. If you only know 2, give me the 2 you know. What is 2 also in the ballet? 2, 2, yeah. So 2, 2. I think it was really what is also in the ballet. 2, 2. We'll get that in there. 10 of you. In 5. In 4. 3.5. If you're asking the question, it's too late to get your answer in by now. 2. 1. I'm calling it. See what we came up with. Carbohydrates, proteins, nucleic acids, and lipids. Perfect right off the bat, the first one. Lipids, polysaccharides, which are carbohydrates, right? And proteins, and you forgot nucleic acids. Lipids, carbohydrates, proteins should have had nucleic acids there too. All right, a lot of you got it. Anything way off the wall? Nope. Oh, hundreds of screaming corn babies. Yes, okay. You're never going to look at corn on the cob again the same, right? It's like, I can't do it. Because corn, think about what corn is. It's a bunch of, baby corn embryos just lined up in a row. Right? Oh, no. Don't think about that. You guys are on YouTube right now. Many of these reactions require large activation energies. All right? And many of these reactions would not occur quickly enough to sustain life without the help of an enzyme. So I want you all to I'll talk to you a little bit about my dinner last night. So here's what I had for dinner last night. I had a steak, I had a baked potato, and I had spinach. Bless you. Okay, so there's 3 things. Let's say I put that plate of food on this table right here. And I'm going to seal the room so that no animals can get in. And I'm going to sterilize the room so there's no bacteria or anything in here. How long would it take that steak to turn into dust? Like forever, right? Essentially, if this room were truly sterile, okay? So now let's say I give you a blowtorch and I give you my dinner and I say, okay, turn that into dust. How long is that going to take? Dust. We're talking probably maybe like 3-4 hours of you just torching it before it's dust. I'm going to guess. Okay? So your body can do that essentially in about 4 hours. It takes about 4 hours from mouth to anus for food. Okay? So understanding that, you guys, understanding that, something must be inside of our digestive system that speeds this whole process up without using a blowtorch, right? It's not a blowtorch, right? We're 98.6 degrees. Nowhere in us is like a 1,000-degree blowtorch, okay? So folks, pay close attention because there has to be something in us. We all know we use digestive enzymes, I heard it, okay, to break food down. We do use a little bit of acid, yep, for sure. So we use a combination of things, but really it's the enzymes which allow us to bring it from steak to, well, dust, we'll say, in that short amount of time. Well, your stomach does it. It's HCl. We'll talk more. There's goblet cells in your stomach that secrete stomach acids. But there's an enzyme there inside of us, and it's a molecule that increases the speed of the biochemical reactions. It increases the speed of breaking a protein down into amino acids. It breaks peptide bonds very quickly. And enzymes hold molecules close together and in the correct orientation. If an enzyme were in the putting your key in the door example, what would the enzyme be? It would be your hand, right? Holding things in the right position. So an enzyme lowers the amount of activation energy needed for the reaction to occur. So you don't need a blowtorch because you're able to align things perfectly in your stomach so you can break them down. And by assisting in necessary biochemical reactions, enzymes help organisms maintain homeostasis. Remember, homeostasis is that stable internal condition. Yes. Well, kind of. Like a thermostat in the house? Yeah. Do not pack up yet. Okay, pack up now. Hold on one second. I want to stop my recording.